And that was the third movement of Beethoven's Piano Concerto No. 3. Which means, of course, Beethoven's second piano concerto, owing to the fact that his Piano Concerto No. 2 was really his first piano concerto. But I don't think we've got time to go into the complications of all that right now.
What?
I said, thank God it's Saturday.
Every day's Saturday to you. I'm the breadwinner.
Oh, I should be so lucky. Anyway, he had these two wire-haired terriers. He used to call them Local and Express. Local used to cock a leg at every corner, but Express only stopped between stations.
They don't have express trains nowadays.
You can call a dog into city, he'd never answer to it. No, put them down, they're all for me.
Selfish pig.
It's nothing interesting. Here, look. Bill, anti-apartheid, company report. Do you know, I wish they wouldn't. If one could only give money to good causes without having to read the literature. Who's this?
From?
Do you know? Leamington. Is that Leamington?
Let's see. Warwick and Leamington Spa.
Ah, Warwick.
What about it?
Used to know a man called Warwick. He lived in Chiswick. And then there was this girl I met at a party. She was in sewage at Dulwich. Or was it Greenwich?
Too early in the morning, love. Save it for your column.
Well, take your coffee then. You don't want it to slop.
Oh. Well, aren't you going to open it?
Oh, there's going to be a fan, I suppose.
Well, hardly, since it's not been readdressed from anywhere. Not from the paper or the BBC or anywhere. It must be someone who knows you.
Well, could have looked me up in Who's Who. I shan't answer. It's a picture.
What?
A picture. It's odd.
Who is it?
I don't know.
Are they fans?
I told you, I don't know.
You wouldn't know them if they were fans. There's nothing on the back.
Let me see. It's odd. They don't look like fans. I mean, you can't imagine these two reading the posher papers or listening to Radio 3 or watching arts programs on the telly.
Oh, don't be so conceited, Mike.
That's not conceit. They don't look as if
Well,
they...
how should everybody look as if they listened to...
Don't be so tetchy, love.
Why so ridiculous? You and your fans. There's that woman from Hove. And anyway, why should even a fan
I don't know.
There must be a letter with it.
See? There isn't.
Well, you better eat your muesli. It's obviously a practical joke. It's a caravan.
Hmm?
Where they're sitting, it's a caravan. They're sitting in front of a...
Yeah, I noticed.
Well, is that significant? Do you recognise...
If I can't recognise the girls, I don't see why I should recognise a caravan.
Well, you haven't looked. Not properly.
All right, one caravan's very like another, you know.
You haven't really looked at the girls either, have you?
What's the matter with you?
Well, you say you don't know who it's of. You say you've never seen the... But all you do, you just glance at it. You don't seem very curious. If someone had sent me a picture of two perfect strangers with no letter, nothing written on the back...
There was a nutcase from Dorset sent me a lavatory seat, COD. I wasn't very curious about that either.
Well, you knew who it was.
I don't know who these are.
Have you been up to something?
Such as?
Just up to anything?
Not with... No, not my type. Look, I've not been up to anything in either Warwick or Leamington. I've not been up to anything at all, as a matter of fact. Not since... And certainly not with Ruby and Grace. And please don't ask me how I know their names, because I do not know their names. I have never seen either of them before in my life. Or the caravan.
I'm getting up.
You haven't finished your coffee.
Please move the tray.
Look, it's Saturday. Just because some... Jill, don't get into one of your states just because some loony girls send me a photograph. Oh, Christ.
Which brings me to the Morlocks. Those ugly, frightening creatures in H.G. Wells' novel, The Time Machine, who do all the work and live underground in darkness, while up above live the beautiful people who compose music, write poems, paint pictures. And it all seems to be a parable about the way the cultivated upper classes exploit the brutish, underprivileged workers, until you discover that it's the Morlocks who exploit the artistic people, quite literally exploit them. They eat them. Well, it's easy to recognize the Morlocks in the capitalist society of the period when Wells wrote his novel, and when leisure for the few rested on the basis of a brutish and violent slum poverty. Where are they now? I think inside ourselves. Inside each modern man and woman, the despised Morlocks live and breed and grow more powerful. We may pretend they don't exist, but at the last it is we who will run screaming through the darkness of our own minds to be smashed and eaten by the Morlocks who dwell there.
The Morlocks, the final talk in our series Imagery and the Archetype, was given by Michael Otway.
Very good.
Strong stuff, eh?
Very strong.
Shouldn't give children homework. It's unfair on the teachers. Anyway, I don't know why you can't use the study.
Because it's not the study, it's your study. If you want to see real Morlocks in action, you've only got to look at the school lavatories, or the phone boxes at the station. Or any tower block, of course.
Yes, well, there's that too.
I had a talk to the post office at Leamington today.
What?
I rang them up at lunchtime. Apparently the Leamington area isn't just the town. It takes in a great circle all the way round.
You phoned Leamington Spa?
I used the credit card. It comes off tax. The interesting thing is, if you post a letter at a village post office, it gets the postmark of the village. But if the village hasn't got a post office, or you use an ordinary letterbox by the roadside, then the postmark's Leamington, Warwick and Leamington Spa, just as if you'd posted it in the town. The area goes north as far as King's Standing, south as far as Shipston, and east as
You
far...
must be off your head.
I was sure it couldn't be in Leamington, because they'd never allow a caravan inside the town. It's Regency. They're very particular.
You've been brooding about that bloody photograph the entire weekend.
The postal superintendent didn't want to tell me at first. He said it was confidential information. But after a while, he got quite chummy.
I don't know what's got into you.
If it had been posted in Warwick, the postmark would just be Warwick. So whatever it is, it's outside Leamington.
All right, I agree with you. It's a great mystery why anybody from Leamington Spa...
I told you. Outside.
Or outside should send me a photograph of two lumpy, working-class teenage
You've always
girls...
had an itch for the working classes.
I don't like mysteries any more than you do.
No.
But some mysteries are worth solving and some are not.
If you didn't have an itch for the working classes, why did you marry me?
I married you because you were pregnant. And then you lost the sodding child. Well, why do you provoke me? I wouldn't snap at you if you didn't provoke me. All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, love, I'm sorry. I know you're ill. I try to remember.
I've been through your appointments book for the last 5 years.
I've never been to Warwick or Leamington. I don't have occasion to go.
You've been to Stratford. It's in the area.
Where is that bloody photograph? I'll tear it up.
I took it to school.
Well, perhaps you'd like to let me have it back when you've finished with it.
Terrible panics. I feel so vulnerable. I've got no hold on him. I mean, I haven't got a degree or anything. He came to talk to the Literature Society at college. Visiting speakers, they usually stay on afterwards and have a few drinks with the committee. I suppose I got a bit drunk. But I really admired him. He's a beautiful speaker. He didn't want to drive back to London, and so he stayed overnight in the guest room in Latimer Brook. And I stayed with him. You could hear everything through the walls. They have to be thin to discourage immorality among the students. And afterwards, he just took up with me. I suppose it amused him to have a bit of skirt tucked away to teachers' training college. And then I got pregnant. I think sometimes the only emotion that governs his life is guilt. Teacher's training certificate. That's no qualification for his kind of life. When we have people in for dinner, there's many occasions when I never say a word. Or else I talk all the time, which is worse. And mostly he does the cooking. He thinks I'm an orphan. Our GP says it's not clinical depression or I'd be like it all the time. It's so unattractive. It's only by being helpless that I can keep my hold on it.
Hello?
I'm in here. It's all right. I don't intend it to stay. It's not a wall poster.
Well, it could be if you like. It's original.
I thought if I got a blow-up, we could study it in detail. See if there's anything we'd missed. That's why I took the photo to school.
But what a persistent lady you are.
Oh, it didn't cost anything. I got Fred to do it in the art room.
You won't believe me, will you?
I do believe you. I don't like mysteries is all.
How'd you get on with your man?
Oh, I am to go back next week. It may take months. I asked about money. He says it's £10 a visit.
We can manage. £10. Suppose that's cheap.
You haven't noticed it's the same girl. It's a doctored photograph. It's not two girls. It's the same girl. Twice.
I can't leave her. What would she do? There's no family, no one to turn to. Of course, there's a job. Teaching keeps her busy, but it'll be the weekends and the long holidays that... Anyway, people get used to a certain kind of lifestyle. Wine at meals, going abroad, car, that sort of thing. Of course, you can't do without them. Christ, we ought to be like them when we were young. I used to take the tube everywhere, buses. Once you get used to them. Anyway, she's ill. Suppose if this man ever gets her sorted out. £10 a week. She gets herself sorted out. God knows she ought to leave me. I'm not doing her any good. He might tell her that. I'm destroying her. I do destroy people, I think. I wouldn't take up with anybody else if she... It's like battery hens. They couldn't live in the open, even if you released them. Nowhere to go. Foxes get them. Well, there is the job, though. An occupation, something to occupy her mind. I mean, Christ, she ought to leave. She doesn't even like me anymore. Anyway, I can't leave her. She's ill.
Oh dear, oh dear.
What is it?
Another break-in and birds destroyed by vandals at the loft of Wilf Adams, who found 25 of his stock birds and squeakers dead on going to the loft. Local fanciers are rallying round with birds to help Wilf out.
It's good to have friends.
Friend in need's a friend indeed.
Does it say that in the paper?
No, I said that, Mother. 'Twas I and none other.
Friends and neighbours, they're a price above rubies.
It is thought to be just sheer vandalism, with no other motive, as guinea pigs and a tortoise in the next garden were also killed at the same time. Suspect the demise of that tortoise were particularly harrowing.
You're off, are you? Are you off then?
Out my business.
Shall you bring us a rabbit tomorrow?
You shall have a rabbit, you shall have an hare. Some long-eared fellow will dance in my snare.
Boy, you're a poet. And don't you know it?
Don't I? Don't I, though?
I thought I'd take it down tomorrow.
Why?
Lost interest in it.
Why?
Gone off it. I thought I'd take it into school. Show it to 4C, pin it up. Get them to write a story about these two people.
One person, according to you.
I thought I'd see whether any of them noticed.
Leave it a bit, eh?
If you like.
I mean, you haven't told them.
No. You can leave it for a bit if you like. Could be a boy in drag. Twice.
Any developments with your man?
What sort of development?
Well, you know, he hasn't told you the source.
Oh, no. He doesn't tell me anything. They don't go in for that. You have to discover it for yourself. Whatever it is.
Yes, that's right, you do.
He doesn't even ask me much, let alone tell. I do most of the talking. I mean, if people keep quiet, you're bound to talk to fill the space. He keeps quiet. If you look carefully, you can see a tattoo on the right arm. You wouldn't find a girl like that. Even a girl from Leamington or outside. She wouldn't be tattooed. Looks like a snake.
There's no tattoo there, Jill. There's nothing there at all.
We'll leave it for a bit then. You can study it.
Hello, 2480920. I'm sorry, you must have the wrong number.
China Craft or the Persian Embassy?
Iranian. They don't call it Persian anymore.
Well, it wouldn't be China Craft at this time of night.
This is ridiculous. I'll take it in the study.
It'll only be the same wrong number.
I'm sorry, it's not a good time to phone. I think I told you the evening's never... Oh, that's all right. I mean, obviously it has to be when you're in town, but... Well, anyway, I've been meaning... I mean, well, money's a bit tight at the moment, as a matter of fact, and I may have to go away for a bit. I mean, if there were any way of getting in touch with you... Yeah, all right. But not in the evening, please. Now, I'll have to go back now to... Oh, no, wait. One thing. That tattoo you have on your arm, I was wondering... No, it's not important. I was just wondering who else knows? Well, knows you have one. Yes, right. Clients wouldn't notice. They'd be bound to. Silly question, sorry. I suppose you don't know... Is it a popular thing in your line of work, having a tattoo on... Yeah. Yes, of course, sorry. Well, anyway, I'm not sure how long I'll be away, but you better leave it for a bit. There's Midlands, somewhere near Leamington. It's all a bit vague at the moment, but you get in touch in a couple of months, yeah? Right. Not in the evening, though. See you. Was Jeremy and Pamela wanting us to dinner on Friday? What have you done?
Inked it in.
What?
To make it clearer for you to see. I inked it in. Made it clear.
But you've covered it up.
I knew where it was.
Jill, if it wasn't there to begin with, there's now no way of telling. Jill, there's no way I'll ever be able to tell whether there really was a tattoo there or not.
Why should I say there was if there wasn't? You don't think I invented it? You said you couldn't see it. All I've done is ink it in. Anyway, what does it matter? I wouldn't have mentioned it.
It doesn't matter.
Ah, oh, that's a relief. What did you say to Jeremy and Pamela?
I said we couldn't make it.
Because of me or because we're doing something else?
I didn't say because of you.
Anyway, you still got the original photo.
It's too small to make out that kind of detail.
You could use a magnifying
I
glass.
said it doesn't matter, love.
You didn't have to say no to Jeremy and Pamela. I should meet more people. If I got one of my turns, you could go on your own.
I don't like leaving you.
Don't you?
I don't like leaving you when you're having one of your turns.
But you're often away when I have one of my turns. I just go to bed and cry. It passes. Eventually. Last time you looked at me like that, I cried for 3 hours.
Don't threaten, love. I can't always control my looks.
I often want you to control them less. At least it's contact.
Anyway, it's 2 girls, I'm sure it is. It's not one girl twice, not a tattoo boy in drag twice. It's just 2 country girls. Look at them. Rather self-conscious, out for a bit of a lark. Thought they sent a picture to remind someone. Didn't want him to forget them.
Someone?
Not me. Got the name wrong. Maybe they were given the wrong name by somebody who didn't want them to know his own name, or somebody wanted to impress. 2 country girls on a summer's evening, hitchhiking probably. There'd be a disco in Leamington, and he gives them a lift. He's been listening to the car radio, he's heard my name, and he thinks... Well, I don't believe that's any more unlikely than... Anyway, he gives them a lift. They're a bit curious, provocative. It's an expensive car. What do they care? It's only a lark. Nobody'll know.
I don't see your average Radio 3 audience going in for a bit of roadside slap and tickle with a couple of teenage hitchhikers.
Anybody can go in for a bit of promiscuous slap and tickle with anyone. And you know bloody well they can.
Yes.
But I haven't. Why did you choose a snake?
It was a snake. It looked like a snake. With something written in the coils. I couldn't make the words out. Snakes are very popular, as a matter of fact, among the tattooed set.
I don't see how you can know.
Oh, some of the older boys at school go in for it. They do it themselves with a needle and coloured ink. Bleeding hearts and love and mother. A death's head sometimes, or kill picked out on the knuckles. It washes off after a bit, and sometimes it goes septic. The West Indian kids don't do it because it doesn't show on them.
Do any of the girls do it, did you know?
Not that I know. But I said it was a boy in drag.
An answer to everything.
Don't get at me. I don't blame you for being promiscuous.
I don't get much chance, actually, love, to be promiscuous.
I don't see why not. I'm out all day.
What do you want me to do? Keep an hour-by-hour diary and let you read it?
I want you to love me.
You know I do. If I didn't, would I be so
Patient with me? You wouldn't put up with me if you didn't love me, hmm? Proof by deeds. So it's unfair I should want more than patience and putting up. It's unfair I
I'll
should
get
want...
the cuss
I don't want any. I'm depressed. I haven't any appetite.
Please don't get into a state.
Love! Patience isn't love. Putting up with people isn't love. Making them feel guilty if they stretch out a hand in bed
Please.
isn't love. Anyway, I'm not supposed to make the advances. I shouldn't have to make the advances.
You said you wanted me to love you, not just...
That is love. That's what love is.
I do love you. And we do, if you'll bring it to your mind, from time to time make love. Not that that proves anything. And it's not your fault that when I'm under pressure, but you know this is true, love. It's always been so. It's not you being ill, it's any sort of pressure.
Thank you.
It's when I'm under pressure, worried, my mind darting about, then I can't always... And it's no bloody good bringing home books and pieces from Forum and new positions. Jill, if I can't always get an erection, it's not a criminal offence. Christ, do you think of someone like Bobby?
Bobby?
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's a man I know, a director. Has it off like a rabbit with whoever it is while he's courting. Protestation of eternal love, can't live without them. Then they move out of their digs and in with him and wham! Well, no, not wham exactly. Or whatever the words will be to describe disastrous drooping. Can't do it anymore. Wants to, hates himself, guilt makes it worse. Thereafter 3 months of tears and recriminations. Whoever it is moves back into their digs, and Bobby's on to the next.
You seem to know a lot about other people's sex lives.
That's what they mostly talk about in the BBC, Cloud.
I never talk about mine, except once a week. I pay for that.
Are you sure you wouldn't like to try just a little of the casserole?
You have some.
I suppose I could go to them, ain't it? Look around a bit. Well, isn't that what you wanted me to do?
Look for what?
Well, the caravan. The girls, perhaps. Try to find out what they said.
But you said... You said some man
You
must...
didn't seem to believe me. I mean, if it's bothering you, and clearly it is bothering you...
How would you...
Well, get a map, an ordnance survey. You put a thick black line around the postal area, explore the side roads, find the caravan. It has to be parked by the roadside because it's not the sort that's towed about. It's a fixture.
You've been working it out.
I could go tomorrow, come back at the weekend. There's nothing in the appointments book. I've got some novels to review. I could take them with me.
You've been thinking about it.
Well, one's bound to.
But when I thought about it, you... What about the music programme?
Oh, didn't I tell you? It's been recorded. Sally's going on holiday, so we did 3 on the trot.
I thought it was 2 you did on the trot.
No, 3. Don't you want me to go?
Is that why you told Jeremy and Pamela we couldn't go to dinner?
What?
On Friday that we couldn't go?
Oh, no, I didn't think you'd want to go.
In case I had one of my spells.
Yes.
What happens if I have one of my spells whilst you're in Leamington?
If you don't want me to go, just say. I thought you wanted to solve our little mystery.
Why don't we both go? Spend the weekend.
There's no reason.
Well, we both go then. I navigate. It's a large area. Shipston, Stratford, King's Standing. There'll be a lot of minor roads.
I think I'd like something else.
Yes, I'll have some.
You could join me. I mean, it is a large area. We couldn't do it in a weekend. I could go off tomorrow, and you could meet me in Leamington on a Friday night.
You don't want me to come with you?
But I've just asked you to. It's a large area. We couldn't do it in a weekend.
There are lots of weekends between now and Christmas.
Oh, for Christ's sake! It doesn't matter, does it?
Go if you want to. I may join you at the weekend. Very good.
where are you going?
Round the boat. Where are you going?
Leamington, eventually.
That'll do.
Right. Bit risky, isn't it? Hitchhiking on your own?
Boys do it.
You're not a boy.
I don't hitch lorries or cars with more than one man in it.
No safety in numbers.
No.
Sound as if you'd learned that.
I have.
You a student?
If you like. Is there a youth hostel in Leamington? Do you happen to know?
Afraid that's not the sort of thing I ever do know.
I expect there is. Well, I did start off with a girlfriend, as a matter of fact. But she got my tits, so I dumped her. Oh, it's no good travelling with people if you don't get on.
I'm afraid I'll be taking rather a lot of minor roads. I'm looking for a caravan. You can always leave me if you get bored.
My brother's only 16, and he's been all over Argentina. You are super, Fred. It's ages since I've been to a movie. Mike sometimes has to do films for Critics Forum, but then he goes in the daytime.
Well, I thought you looked a bit low.
I was. I'd taken a pill, but it didn't seem to be working. I suppose if depression is an illness, I should give up the job and live on sick pay. But then I really would go mad.
I'll warm the pot.
It's in the cupboard. Don't be embarrassed. Mad's a very old-fashioned word. They don't use it anymore. We depressed women, we don't go mad. We just feel a bit low. We think about it, though.
The pot's warm already.
Anyway, it's gone now. The prospect of being taken to the movies has quite cheered me up. Or else the pill's working.
It's got hot tea in it. The pot.
Has it? It hasn't now.
I thought you said Mike was away.
He is. He's in Leamington. Outside Leamington. Warwick and Leamington Spa. It's a cleaner lady's day. She might have stayed late. Anyway, Mike wouldn't mind you taking me to the movies. I'm supposed to make new friends.
Who would know?
Well, I can ask in the public.
Oh, thanks. He's asking in the public.
You're really great at making other people do the work. He wants me to commit suicide. That's his aim.
Has he said so?
Of course not. Not Mike. Mike never says what he's really thinking. He knows it'll only lead to trouble. He likes a quiet life.
Then how...
If you want to know what Mike's really thinking, you'll have to find out through his work, like any other creative artist.
Hardly creative.
Oh, yes, love, creative. Mike's creation is Mike. He's a personality. And don't put him down. It's not easy. You have to work at it. And it's not a salaried profession like ours. You do it freelance. It's very insecure. And Mike's not one of your common or garden personalities. He specializes. He's artistic. There aren't many of those.
Anyway, I don't see how you can know he wants you to commit suicide.
I'll show you. Bring your tea. Exhibit A.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, thanks anyway. Who's that?
Have you heard the good news, sir?
What's that?
Have you heard the good news of the Word of God? I have a pamphlet here. It's very simply explained. All the violence in the world today is caused, you know, by greed.
Yeah, no, thank you. No.
I shall leave the pamphlet with you. There's no charge. Hello, Mr. Rowley.
It's on tape. Whenever Mike does a live broadcast, I always have to tape it at home so that you can listen to it later. We got hundreds. This is it. Listen.
An artist shouldn't get married. He shouldn't have children. Because if he's to be true to himself, he must live a life of creative and financial insecurity, since there's no knowing when the creative spring may dry up, or he may go out of fashion, or more often, never come into fashion until after he's dead.
Mike always says he when he's talking about creative artists. It's not that he's a male chauvinist. It's just that he's really talking about himself.
An additional hazard is that by the nature of his art, he uses people. It would be a sorry thing for such a man to use up his own wife. It might demand divorce or even death to keep his artistic self alive.
You see? I'm used up. He wants to get rid of me. It's no wonder I feel low.
What good will it do?
Hmm?
Even if you find a caravan, even if you find the girls, even if you find out who sent the photograph and why, what good will it do?
Oh, no.
What good will that do? What difference does it make if it's 2 girls, or 1 girl twice, or boy in drag twice, or if one of the girls are tattooed, or the boy's tattooed? You don't know them. What difference does it make?
Oh, I do know someone with a tattoo, actually.
Have you heard the good news, sir? Sorry?
Then why don't you ask them?
Because I don't know there really is a tattoo on the photograph. You can't say to someone, look, have you sent me, for whatever reason, a joke or whatever reason, a photograph of 2 girls, one of whom may be you in disguise because she has a tattoo on her right arm. You can't say that unless you know there really is a tattoo
Why
on...
not? Jesus, you people are so screwed up. But what are you afraid of? Look, did you really come away for a week? Leave your home and your job?
My job doesn't necessitate...
All right, whatever. You're a great man. You're on the television, whatever. You come away. You're not like us. You don't just wander about. You've got to have a car and a hotel. It all comes off tax and whatever, and you drive about. I mean, is it really because you want to know who sent that photograph?
I've told you it is.
Or is it because you want an excuse for an adventure?
That's ridiculous.
Right, it's ridiculous.
What sort of adventure?
You don't know what sort. Any sort will do. You're middle-aged. Me, maybe. Pick up a young girl on the side of the road, make like you're famous, and take her to bed in Leamington Spa.
I don't think I said I was famous.
Only you should realise unknown adventures may not be so nice. You could get hurt. You're lucky it was me.
You could divorce him.
I cling.
He could walk out, I suppose. You don't have to be dead.
No, love. It's very complicated if you're freelance and you make the mistake of getting married. I mean, you think we live pretty high, don't you?
Yes.
It all comes off Mike's tax. And we're in debt, of course. We have a high standard of living, but no security of income. Mike only has to offend about 3 people. Well, maybe 5, and he'd hardly work at all. As it is, he can just about manage to support the 2 of us together. But if we broke up, I'd have a right to maintenance because we're legally married. Or alimony or whatever.
But you've got a job. You can support yourself. You've no kids. You wouldn't claim.
I'm ill. I may not be able to work. Besides, if Mike walked out on me, I'd be vindictive. I would claim. Shocked? Sorry.
Nobody's perfect.
Mike knows that. From his point of view, me dead will be better. No need to pay alimony and he gets the insurance. The man made a great point of that when he sold us the policies. Even if you commit suicide, they still pay up. He had a hare lip.
You're not trying to tell me that he's driving you to...
No. More subtle. Mike knows I'm suicidal whilst I've got this depressive illness, so he makes sure I've got the means to do it. And then he goes away. Exhibit B.
Yep.
This is Chet.
How do you do?
Hi.
Well, here's your tomato juice.
You have it.
Have you heard the good news, sir?
When I first became depressed, Mike got very worried and he couldn't sleep. So he went to Geoffrey, that's our GP, And Mike got Jeff to prescribe these. Barbs. Nembutal. Very strong. Fatal with alcohol. Jeff would never prescribe them for me, of course, because he knows I'm suicidal. Mike's not suicidal.
That's a hell of a lot.
Right. Because Mike didn't actually take any. He found he didn't need them after all. Besides, he doesn't really approve of taking drugs. He thinks you should try and fight things through.
Why didn't he throw them out?
Good question.
Why don't you throw them out?
I don't want to. I like knowing they're there.
Have you told your man about all this? About Mike wanting... about the pills?
He thinks I fantasize. You've taken on a responsibility, Fred. You shouldn't keep people alive if they want to die. You don't know what it might lead to.
If we're going to catch the early show, we'd better be going.
Leamington.
Oh, you could have come with us, but I'm afraid my car's only a two-seater.
It's no hassle.
Don't worry. We'll find something. Thanks for the lift. I really enjoyed it.
Excuse me, sir. Have you heard the good news?
What?
The good news, sir, of God's holy word. I have a pamphlet here. All the violence and vandalism in the world is caused by greed.
No, thank you.
There's no charge. God's message comes free to all who will receive it. Since you have friends in the district, sir, perhaps you'll be able to attend one of our meetings. All are welcome.
What friends?
You will find us at the sign of the Assembly of God. Meetings are held every Sunday afternoon. We have various centres. I shall provide you with a list for your convenience. All the problems of today's world are explained and analysed, and God's holy word expounded.
Oh, what friends?
Relations, maybe.
Do you know those girls?
May I? The young ladies, sisters, perhaps. Friends.
Do you know them?
No, I cannot say I know the young ladies. But of course I know the caravan. I spread the Lord's word all about this district.
Please, sit down.
It's a phone. I'll get it.
I thought it was my bloody alarm.
No, it'll be Mike. He always phones up last thing at night when he's away. I'd forgotten. I'm usually watching the telly. He phones for messages.
Hello. What kept you?
I was in bed. What time is it?
It's only 9:30.
Oh, well, there wasn't anything interesting on the telly. So I went to sleep. Anyway, I'm supposed to get as much sleep as I can. What's it like in Leamington?
Unimaginable.
Is it? And the food?
Oh, one of those terrible English provincial meals, everything frozen. The steak was grey. It's like a boy's adventure story. His blood turned to water. It's blood, of course, in this case.
What have you been doing?
Oh, just driving around. I didn't get into Leamington till the light was going.
Did you find anything?
No, nothing. Nothing at all, nothing. It's terribly boring. I may come home at the weekend. Don't make any plans.
But I was going to join you.
Yes, I know you were, but if I come home, you won't need to, will you?
But you haven't... I mean, you've had... Well, it's up to you, I suppose, if you've changed your mind. You would tell me what
But
you...
I don't know, love. I haven't made my mind up. I mean, if I've come on a wild goose chase, I might as well give it up. I mean, even if I found the caravan, even if I actually found it, I mean, what does one say knocking on the door of a complete stranger and saying... Well, anyway, we'll talk about it again tomorrow night, hmm? I'm certainly staying another day. Maybe... Are you sure you're feeling all right? I can ring you again in the morning if you like. Any messages?
Which of those questions do you want answered? No, nothing of any interest. No, nothing on the machine, no. There's no point in phoning tomorrow. I shall only be in a rush to get to school. But try and phone a little earlier in the... No, I'm all right. I get tired, that's all. Tired. Good night, love.
Mike?
He sounded a bit discontented. Lonely. He spent the day driving about. He's talking about coming back.
What did he expect? I'd better go.
There's no need. You can stay the night if you want to.
No, I'd better go.
Fred.
Yeah?
It's all right, you know.
What is?
You haven't taken anything on. No responsibilities. It's all right.
Oh. Right. You feeling okay, are you?
Yes, Fred. Much better, thank you. We might as well have something to eat before you go. There's bound to be bacon and eggs.
Oh, right. I'll have a bit of a wash.
Oh, I'm sorry to bother you. Can you tell me whether you know either of these girls? Am I to come in?
So long as you keeps the door shut, mister. No great desire the world and his brother shall know my business.
Thank you.
Ornament.
Is it yours?
Art, that is. Love token. Alabaster. Valuable object.
May I ask where you found it?
Not for sale.
Do you live here alone?
Not your business.
Oh, sorry.
Good likeness, this is. Snapshot.
You know them then?
My caravan. Look big in colour. Very few people in these parts nowadays uses the black and white.
I was asking about the girls.
That's right.
But do you know who they are?
You made inquiries in the village?
What village?
Well, just down the road. You got your car outside. 3 mile down the road. They got constabulary there, rectory, sub-postmaster.
You think I should do that then, inquire at the village? Hmm?
Suit yourself.
Would they know the girls there?
Can't say.
Do you mind if I look at it?
Suit yourself.
There's a chip of it. It's been broken.
That's right. Imperfect. Broken out. Love token.
Did anyone give it to you as a love token? Anyone at all recently? I have one just like it.
Don't give me a love token at my age. You come back tomorrow, mister. I'll make inquiries in the village on your behalf. You come back tomorrow.
When?
Tea time. I'll give you a good cup of tea. I'll make inquiries and give you a good hand.
You'll find I'm grateful.
My own this is. I shan't go away. Promised to make inquiries in the village.
Mike?
I came home.
Mike!
Hey, welcome. What a welcome.
Glad you're home is all.
Oh, I got bored. I came back.
Good.
Jill, it's excessive. I've only been away 24 hours.
Never mind, it never was a good idea.
Well,
Yes?
I might go back tomorrow, actually. I just thought enough was enough for the time being.
Why?
I got bored and lonely.
Why go back?
Well, it seems such a waste otherwise. I mean, I've done quite a bit.
But if you're lonely and bored...
It's a waste, love, of what I've done already. I thought, take a break, go home, then carry on for a bit. I mean, it's easy to come and go. It's only a couple of hours with the M40.
Why? Why go back?
Look, if being alone at night worries you, I can go up tomorrow and be back by 10.
Why?
I mean, it's you who've been...
I took it down.
I'd never have gone in the first place. It was your idea, love.
But you changed your mind and went.
You changed it for me.
Change it back. I have. I don't want you to go. Change it back. There's always bloody music in this place. I was testing you. I don't want you to go. It's finished.
Testing?
I was unsure. I'm an insecure lady. I was testing you, wanting to find something out. Anyway, I'm allowed to be difficult when I'm ill.
You never believed I had anything to do with...
No, not exactly.
It wasn't you sent the... No, because...
Because?
But if there really was a caravan, all the girls, I mean, you could hardly know.
Is there? Is there, Mike? A caravan and girls, really? Is there?
I don't know, do I?
There isn't. I sent the photo just to make mischief. There isn't any caravan, there aren't any girls.
I don't believe you.
If you don't, you don't.
Look, I can go off tomorrow, be back tomorrow night. At the weekend, you can come with me, looking. We'll look together. If I don't find anything tomorrow, that is. I mean, all right, it's not important, but once you've started something, anything, you like to finish it. That's natural. You know, what do you mean, testing? When you know there isn't any reason. Testing what?
I don't know. If I knew, I wouldn't be testing.
You said
I don't know what there is to test and what there isn't. I told you, I'm insecure, jealous, afraid. I don't know of what, I just know that I am. If you just tell me the truth, always. I don't mind what you get up to if you tell me the truth. It's what's hidden, that's what frightens me. That's why I get panics.
Everyone lies about something.
You don't have to.
It's more civilized. Oil's the wheel.
Christ.
Anyway, I don't think that's really the cause of your panics, is it? I mean, if we were really certain of what caused them, we'd hardly be paying out a fortune to your man in Harley Street.
Just tell me the truth. I may know it. Whatever it is, whatever you may do during the day, I may know it.
I am not having an affair. I do love you. I do intend to stay with you, ill or not. Now, if I lose my temper sometimes, if I get impatient, I'm sorry. That's my nature, not your depression. They don't combine very well. Anyway, but you're only just home, so am I. Tea? Drink?
I brought Fred home yesterday.
Fred?
From the school.
Oh, Fred, art.
Yes. He thought I was looking a bit low and said, did I want to go to the pictures?
Good. Go for Fred.
I brought him back here for a cup of tea first. And then we went to bed.
Good. Good for Fred. Well, you're supposed to make new friends.
Don't you care?
Not a great deal. Give me time and I'll try to work up a bit of jealous fury if you think that's suitable, but we're both grown-up human beings and I haven't exactly been taking up all your energy in that line recently.
You think Fred might take me off your hands?
I didn't say that. I'd hate that.
Would you? I'm afraid he threw away your pills.
What pills?
Your collection. Barbs. The ones to help you sleep. Fred didn't think they should be lying around the flat while I'm feeling suicidal, so he flushed them down the loo.
Those pills. Well, he's right. Go for Fred. I'd forgotten about them.
Won't you miss them?
Shouldn't think so. I never took any. If I need them, I could always get some more.
Don't you really mind about Fred? Don't you mind at all?
Jill, if it were really serious, you wouldn't have told me.
I would. And if I tell you now, it's because...
It's because you want me to be jealous. Do you think I don't know that? Anyway, you know the alabaster heart? The one I bought in Positano?
For me. You bought it for me.
Got broken. It was on the bedside table.
It got broken because I threw it at you.
It's gone. Disappeared. I just happened to notice. You don't suppose Fred took it, do you?
No, it's not likely.
Oh, well. We'll go out to dinner if you like. Hmm? Do you want a bath?
If you just told me the truth, it could be anything, I wouldn't mind.
It's a very neurotic symptom, love, always wanted to be told the truth. Oh.
Tea. I given you a good spread.
Expecting anything quite so lavish. It looks delicious.
Well, you've taken the trouble to drive out for a cup of tea with an old age pensioner, and you're entitled to a spread.
Oh, I'm sure you're not as old as that.
Country wine. Homemade, that is. Cakes bought. I can't make the cakes now, not them fruit cakes. I'm lacking the facilities. You put that inside you, then sit down to your tea.
Thank you. Did anything come of your inquiries about the girls?
Strength in that.
Yes, they are strong, aren't they, country wines?
Have to be. One's enough.
Right.
Now drink it down. Do you good.
You're not having any?
Oh, special, kept for guests.
Well, it's very nice. What's in it exactly?
In that? Oh, everything in that, mister. Country matters. Herbs in that, roots. Village folks says I puts bat's blood in me medicine.
Bat's blood?
No, and buggers that say anything to my discountenance. Sit down. Hot tea spurs the action.
Well, not of alcohol, I think. It might dilute it.
Drink it down. Now, wash the glass and we'll have our tea.
You were saying about the two girls.
Oh, bad girls, evil girls.
In what way?
I'm not speaking of the dead, then passed over.
Dead? When?
You like to start with ham or sandwiches?
No sugar, thanks. I don't take it. Ham, I'll start. When did the girls die?
Recent.
Michael Otway is out. If you leave your name and a message, it will be answered. The machine gives a whistle. Please speak after that.
Julian and Michael Otway are both out. If you leave your name and a message, you will be answered. The machine gives a whistle. Please speak after that.
Do you make anything?
Sorry?
What?
Yes. Make anything? Well, in a sense, I suppose, yes.
What do you make?
Well, I write articles about books and plays, music sometimes. I appear on radio and television. I talk to clubs, societies, arts groups, that sort of thing.
And that's talk, not making. Talk, air. Seems to me, mister, you don't make nothing.
Well, I don't think helping people to understand and appreciate the arts is exactly nothing. I mean, a lot of people lead a very dead kind of life nowadays, you know, and any occupation that gives it meaning or interest will help them.
Dead?
Oh, not here, not in the country. But in the city, the quality of life isn't...
You helps folk in the cities?
Yes.
Kindly. And you get paid for that, for giving help. If people come to you asking for help and the appreciation of the arts, then they're bound to pay. You ain't no good Samaritan. You've got your living to earn, that's natural.
You know, the media pay me, you know, the newspapers, the BBC, and people don't come asking. They may have to be told what they need. And you see, people don't always know what helps their...
Social Security, I'm drawing. Supplementary benefit. And my daughter's a teacher. You can't rear a family not in a caravan, no facilities. Take a sandwich. Paste. 80% salmon. Stretch out your hand. Take one. Valerian, that is. Valerian wine. The roots, not the flowers. Foxgloves and some other matters. You ain't in no state now to move about and do damage. You rest there quiet, mister. Until needed. Good medicine, that is. Valerian. Known for health.
What's that? Paste?
80% salmon.
Too good for them.
You ain't it none. You pay the price for it, mind.
Nothing but the best.
You save some for our girl, and you save the fruit salad and the ideal milk.
What? Come in.
This him?
That's him.
Well, I saved the fruit salad because I'm well-mannered.
Don't want none.
You can hear what you say, all right, girl. He's capable of that. No moving bodily parts concerned in that, but he's no longer capable to give you any reply.
Draw from Mam's bottle, gone down his throttle.
Medicine.
I got nothing to say to him, Mother. We said too much, I think. It never helped.
You wish to deal with him, girl? Or you prefer our boy tend to it?
Old boy do it.
I shall get a rabbit, I shall get an hare.
you it is then, girl.
Good evening. Have you heard the good news? All the crime and violence in the world is caused by selfishness. The chief instigator of violence, Satan the devil, must be eliminated. Men cannot do it. Only God can do it. The Bible promises the one God who gives peace will crush Satan under his feet shortly. Romans 16:20.
Not today.
I shall leave you a pamphlet, if I may. There's no charge. The word of the Lord comes free to all who stand in need of it. I'm so glad to see you found your friends at last. Remember, friends, the word of the true God is a present help in trouble.
Oh, boy, do it. Quick!
No pain. No pain associated. Our boy is a skilled fellow with the wire. Known for that. Safe now, our girl.
Yes.
That's right. The only way to hold a man, be given to wander, make him safer and sound. Your man's at peace now.
No pain associated. I'm a skilled feller, known for it.
That's right, our boy. You're the skilled fella in this family. Be sure of that. You're the protector of this family. Tell you any bloody thing, you act on it.
You take his sports car then, out of our lane, and our boy'll have yours. He can stay here for tonight. I'll come back to your place.
I'm fond of music.
Where are they now? I think inside ourselves. Inside each modern man and woman, the despised Morlocks live and breed and grow more powerful. We may pretend they don't exist, but at the last it is we who will run screaming through the darkness of our own minds to be smashed and eaten by the Morlocks who dwell there.
The Morlocks, the final talk in our series Imagery and the Archetype, was given by Michael Otway.
His fourth number and his last with a hey and a hum with a hey, nonny no with a hey, nonny no. That was a drink on Tuesday, in springtime, in spring.